Hey y'all! Today we are going to be making one of my favorite pastas by Food Network star Miss Sunny Anderson. But you know I had to do a hood remix to take this recipe to another level. Let's get started, y'all. First thing we need to do is preheat the oven to 400 degrees. To my bowl, I'm going to add 1 1/4 cup of room temperature heavy cream. Here I'm adding 1/2 a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, which has a slightly milder heat than the chili flakes Miss Anderson uses in hers. I poured in a 1/2 cup of water, and I'm using about a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt and 1 teaspoon of pepper. She mentions a pinch of salt and pepper, but these are my measurements I like to use for this pasta bake. And this jar of pesto is about 6.7 ounces. Y'all, pesto was not on my radar until I tried a sandwich from Costco years ago that included pesto, and I was definitely a fan after that. So when I came across this recipe, I had to give it a try. Once I give this a good stir, I'm going to sit this to the side and start preparing some dough for my garlic knots. This is just some dough from the freezer section that I've let come to room temperature. All we'll need is a little olive oil and some flour to begin stretching it out. Then we're going to cut our dough in half, take that half, cut that in half, and then take those two pieces and then cut those in half. So total, we're going to have 8 pieces. And we'll roll it out and tie it into our knots. Just a simple stretch and through the loop, nothing too fancy. And this is how it should look once you're done. I'm going to sit these to the side and grab my dish, which is about a 9 by 12. And we're going to pour in just a little bit of the pesto mix, just enough to coat the bottom, not too much. Once the bottom is coated, I'm going to grab my ravioli. These are 12-ounce bags. I normally grab these smaller ones, but on accident I grabbed a bag of larger ones too. But it's cool. They will cook and taste the same, so I just mix them together. Then I'm going to pour the remaining pesto mix on top. Now again, I'm using cheese ravioli, but if you prefer to use mushroom or a different type, you can use that instead. And I want to know, y'all comment down below. Tell me what type of ravioli do y'all normally use? I'm going to slowly pour this on top because I want to make sure that I coat all of my ravioli. Once everything has been completely coated, I'm going to grab my knots and place them on top. We don't need to do too much to the knots because they are going to soak up some of this pesto mix, but we will be adding some flavor to the tops. And I'm just going to place these along the side of the dish. Of course, if you want it, you can make enough knots to cover all sides. I'm going to spray the tops of these with some butter, then grab my garlic salt and sprinkle a little bit on top. Once this is done, I'm going to take my dish and place it in the oven. Then I'm going to set a timer for 35 minutes. It takes a total of 40 minutes to fully cook this dish. However, we are going to set a timer for only 35 minutes. Reason being is because with 5 minutes left, we will go ahead and start preparing our shrimp. I like to make sure that everything is hot at the same time. So once this 35 minutes is up, we'll start working on our shrimp. Alright y'all, I'm going to preheat my pan on medium high. Then I'm going to add a tablespoon of olive oil. Once this is hot, I'm going to add in my shrimp. Now y'all, I'm using a pound of shrimp. The original recipe doesn't have any meat at all. But my husband was like, it's good, but where the meat at? So I had to think of what would go well with this pasta, and I think shrimp was a perfect pairing. If you're allergic, you can change the shrimp out for some chicken instead. And if you're vegan, then child, I can't help you on this one. I'm preparing the shrimp like I would for a shrimp scampi, so just a good sprinkle of some salt, pepper, and minced garlic. And of course, I'm just going to cook these until they're done, so just a couple minutes per side. While I was cooking the shrimp, the timer did go off to let me know that the pasta is done. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that out and set that to the side, and these shrimp will be done in no time. So we're going to top these with the shrimp shortly. I did spray the garlic knots one more time with my butter. And we are not done yet. We still have one more step. And look at these. Look how beautiful these knots turned out. The ravioli looks good. Y'all, I'm telling you, you can eat it just like this. And here I am just pouring the shrimp straight out of the pan onto the dish. And of course, we had to top this thing off with some Parmesan cheese. Y'all, I'm about to dig in. Y'all, I am starving. I'm about to grab me a bowl and pour some of this goodness in there. When y'all try this, y'all make sure to hit me back and tell me how you liked it. Thank you so much to all of my subscribers. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button for me. And make sure you check back with me because I'm always serving up something good. I'll see y'all in the next video.